Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It is Steve with Real Progressives, and it's been a while since I've done an impromptu live stream, but I just wanted to come at you with something I felt was very important, especially given the fact that, you know, there's so many different paths our movement has been taking, and you can see some pretty clear delineations of the different factions in our group, in our movement. And you can see that anger is the key common denominator. Unfortunately, people assume that anger makes for a movement. And I'm telling you right now, folks, being broke is no joke. I used to tell people before I, grew up and matured, never make somebody more desperate, because the guy with nothing to lose is the one you've got to worry about. He's the one you've got to worry about taking your ass out of this world. He's the one that you've got to worry about. How far is he willing to go? And being broke, it ain't no joke. When you've got bills to pay, you've got mouths to feed, when you've got friggin' everything resting on you, and you're trying to get by and make things happen, being broke is literally no joke, and it makes you take on and do things that you wouldn't otherwise do. It makes you consider things to be solutions that would otherwise not be solutions at all. And here we are today now. People are fucking broke. People are struggling mightily. I mean, I'm talking about mightily. And they are absolutely ignorant of how to get out of it. If they knew, they would already be out of it. They wouldn't be broke, right? But here we are, sadly, a movement filled with people that are confusing anger and rage with solutions. This whole burn it down mindset of this anarchist element that has infiltrated the progressive movement is absolutely got zero answers. It's got no answers. Burn it down is not a solution. Burn it down is not a solution. And so as we present solutions, as we strive to find solutions, the solutions we're talking about eradicate the need for much of the identity politics that creeps into these conversations. The identity politics that sit there and allow the other side to get all up in a bunch. If you start focusing on the root problem, which is the economics that makes the poor white guy and the poor black guy and the poor Asian guy and the poor gay guy and the poor everybody is suffering from the same malaise. If we can solve that problem, if we can choose to be in that solution, instead of peddling lies and myths that allow us to come up with easy answers for all the problems in the world that have nothing to do with actionable change. Just fantasize with me for a moment. If you were able to provide every single inner city person a job, how quickly crime and death would drop. The need for it would drop. It would plummet. So you want to go and fix the gun problem. You want to go fix this problem. You want to go fix all these things. Start with getting people back to work. Start with giving them hope. And I remember, many of you guys will remember. Anybody remember Bernie Sanders having to do the Texas two-step shuffle through all the minority communities during his primary? And poor Bernie went out there and he was doing everything under the sun, but he wasn't saying the right words, because Bernie wasn't just solving one problem. He wasn't just solving another problem. He was trying to solve it for all of us back then. And so the problem is that when you provide a solution that lifts all boats, you got to find a way to say it in a way that manages to help everybody understand. That means you too. We're working for you too. And so the identity politics you see so prevalent, I honestly believe in my heart of hearts, would be eradicated, largely eradicated, if we could simply provide people with a federal job guarantee with good benefits so that people could leave bad areas if they want to, that they were no longer trapped in these hellholes. And that would make the areas suddenly, they would have to respond. Now think about this. What could be more empowering for minority communities that are largely of one ilk or another? What could be more beneficial to them than a federal job guarantee administered locally in their own community, where they get to pick and choose what's important to them? And they can empower the people to serve their own communities in the way that they deem right. This is called empowerment. But yet we've got to sit there and we end up stuck in these debilitating discussions about identity politics, these polarizing things that end up getting us absolutely nowhere. And this is one of the very few things I can say with certainty. A federal job guarantee would allow all people to avoid destitution and would take away the power of the capitalists. And it would take away the power of bigotry. And it would take away the power of all the neoliberals that had come to be, that have wreaked havoc on our country and our collective soul. That, my friends, is what I'm all about right now. I want to solve this problem, and I want to solve it with your help. We need to start pushing for a federal job guarantee now. We need to push for this now. And if folks don't understand this, we just got to keep telling them and explaining it to them and telling it to them and explaining it to them. Because without a federal jobs guarantee, people will remain trapped, people will remain bitter, and people will remain desperate. And then they will remain dangerous, hopeless, helpless, and ultimately, you're going to see death follow. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives. I'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock with Ellis Winningham. We're going to talk about central banking operations, and we're going to Slaughterhouse 5 a whole bunch of stupid myths that are told in our movement. With that, I'm Steve Grumbine. Have a great day, everybody.